What is good, everyone? Hope you guys had a decent trading day today. I, for one, had an interesting day. Something that doesn't usually happen, I would say. But I had 5 trades total, I believe. I think one of them were break even, 1 loss, and then three wins. So you can see I do take an entry right here, and that is based off the 144 candle. That is based off of this 144 candle, I believe. Yes, but also I need to change this time frame to 34 because that's the time frame that we took the entry on. And you can see as we retrace back into this area, we get a high formed and we have that low formed right here. So we just wait for that tiny high, tiny low, which we get right here at 634. We get that retracement into that area, and you already know once we get that retracement into there and we reject that area, I'm in. So I was able to enter and take my profit there. But since I am copy trading more than just one account, you can see that my main account was able to enter here, but price moved extremely quick, and my other account wasn't able to enter near my main account. So instead it entered way down here, like literally just a tick above my profit target. So it was kind of funny seeing, because once my take profit, price was under my take profit, and it didn't like close out my position, which was kind of crazy to see, because all this just happened like within less than a second. Honestly, it happened extremely quick. So on my one account I was able to secure like the 10 points, but on the other account I only secured like a tick. So a tick is like, what, I don't know, it's $5. So that was just funny. But that's the first trade I took. Then the second trade I took, I believe, is based off of the 55 and the 233 range. Let me just pull up the 233 for you. So on the 233 range, we have a retracement into this area. So yes, I know the price, goes below this zone, below the low right here. But at the time, price was still in just this retracement area. So if I go into the 55, let's see. So 55. So we know that this entry was shorts based off of the 34 range bar. Excuse me. So I took that entry and I was kind of done with that, especially since it kind of happened very quickly. And I was kind of flabbergasted and flustered on how one of my accounts, did the normal profit, but then the other account only made like a tick in profit, which is like nothing. But it was just interesting to see for sure. So I was kind of flustered, and I was like, all right, let me just kind of regather my thoughts. So I saw that we were still in that retracement area on the 233, and just the same thing that we always look for. We have this high that is still formed right here. Then we have this low, and what we look for is the tiny high, tiny low, and we get that right here. Boom. So at this time, you would have probably normally seen an entry here, somewhere around here. But at this time, I didn't realize that this setup was kind of occurring. I'm telling you, I was very flustered. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to do. So I saw this a little too late, probably like when price was already up to here, and I was like, I don't really want to take the chances. It's a good thing I didn't, because price ended up going down. And since the 233 range bar that was testing this retracement area, it couldn't close to the upside, so it closed down. So that told me that price wanted to go down a little bit more. So what I did is I get rid of these fib levels, and I pretty much look at the range bar chart and look at the 233R candle close. And that candle close is this candle. Because remember, we have the fib levels from this candle specifically. So we remove that, and now we put the fib levels on this guy. And as soon as this candle closed, I entered. But I accidentally entered 2 times. So I accidentally double clicked. So doubling my risk. And I didn't like that because my risk was it was definitely higher than I would have liked for sure. And you know, I did almost get stopped out in this area because I didn't want to move my stop loss, because usually I would have moved my stop loss to like somewhere up here, but I did not move it because the risk was already doubled. So I was like, if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. There's really not much I can do about that. But that was definitely a fault on my part where I accidentally double clicked. I don't know why. My finger just clicked 2 times. I think it's just maybe an instinct of mine where, you know, we've been profitable for a good amount of time consistently, and my finger's like, all right, let's make more. But no, you gotta take it easy. So yeah, I accidentally double clicked there, and you can see I was able to secure my profit at break even, maybe like a little bit, like a tick or 2 in profit, but pretty much at break even. Excuse me. So yeah, I had targets, when I entered, I had targets of, let me zoom in a little bit. So I had a target of right here at 920. Before this 920 level was not the point of control. It was just like another high peak, like high volume node. Before the high volume node, the point of control was at 907. So like right in this region. And you can see we do bounce from that area perfectly, as well as this 920 area. And I am just waiting, because since now that I was able to secure my profit at pretty much break even, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait. I do believe that price will want to go to at least this 50% level. We do have those 2 high volume nodes there. We have one at the 920 region. I think it was like closer to 922. And then we have one at the 907, which is pretty much at the 50% level. So, you know, I definitely could have entered here and put the stops above the high. But since this just happened, I didn't really want to. I just wanted to wait to see what price would do. So you see I'm waiting. You can see that we are rejecting a little bit. And with this rejection, I decided to enter. If we also look at the 34, let me pull it up on a different chart real quick. Where are we? 642. Okay, so if we look at the 34 chart, we can see that, you know, we pretty much got my model set up. Even though the time frames don't really align, it's the 34 with the 233. Time frames don't align, and I still felt, you know, a little confident that price was still going to be going down, because we did not touch that 50% level down here. Neither did we touch like either high volume node. So I do believe price will still want to get to those levels, because remember, these high volume nodes, they kind of act like as a magnet. Price kind of wants to go to that area. So, you know, we were able to get a nice close below this low. We do have that tiny high right here, and we have a tiny low right here with the confirmed close. So, you know, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to take an entry. I'm going to take a shot. So I took the entry, but you can see I do get stopped out right here, and price just goes like, you know, maybe a few ticks higher. And then what happens next? Boom, boom, boom. Price just goes down. And I see this. I'm just like, all right, yep, I'm taking another entry. So I take another entry, and my first target is that 920 level that I was showing you guys. Let's pull it up here. So my first target was this area. And you can see that there's a high volume node there. So since this is my first area, I would say specifically I was looking at the highest high volume node there was, and I think it started around 922, somewhere around there. So that's where my target was. And if we wait, yeah, I also saw that we closed past this low on the 55, so I decided to take an entry long. I'm just trying to make this a little bit bigger for you guys to make it sure it's nice and clear. So yeah, we closed below here, as you can see, pretty nice. So I kind of enter on that close as well. And it sucks, being that liquidity grab, but it's whatever. So yeah, price entered my target. Instead of it being normal 10 points, I really truly believe that we were going to be going to down here to the 50% level first. Definitely this area, and we could definitely have a little bit of a bounce in this area. So in my live recap video, you can see that I originally have my target profit down here at the 50 level, but I then quickly analyze this high volume node, and I moved my profit target to just right about around here at 922 area. And you can see, boom, perfect execution right before we get that bounce up. So it's very important just knowing where your areas of interest are, because once you know these areas, then you'll be able to secure profit sooner, or just kind of decide what you want to do, but mainly just secure profit sooner, to be honest, because price still does come back down and hit that 50% level, as I was talking about before we have a little bit of a rally up. So going back to over here, had the nice entry. Price does go up a little bit and takes out these highs, but then ultimately we do go back down a little bit, and I did see another opportunity here for the play on the 55R, because you can see we have that high formed at the top here, we have this low, tiny high and tiny low, same thing. So I also did not realize this potential entry on the 55, so I probably would have entered somewhere around here, around like 27 area, and you can see it definitely goes to 900, so I would have, that's like 25 points at least I could have secured, but again, that's not how we do things. But I was a little too late to notice this trade. And then the next trade we take, we're just waiting, and on the 89R, I see this. I see if I get rid of these fib levels, on the 89R, we pair that with the 377R. So you can see that we have a high and we have this low. So now what we look for is a tiny high and a tiny low, which I have drawn out right here. Unfortunately, price never retraced back to this area, so I entered up here when the 233 candle closed and the 144 candle closed. They closed in this area, and they closed very, very bullish. So you can see here, this 233 candle, it closed very bullish. If I look at the 144 candle, you can see it also closed very bullish right there. Yeah, definitely could have entered a little bit earlier, but I was waiting for the higher time frames, because since we were going based off the 377, so we kind of had a retracement into this retracement area, and price does close here on the 377, but I didn't want to enter right at the 377. As you can see, I did enter a little bit later, Didn't want to enter right on that 377 because this is almost 100 points, and that's a pretty big stop loss. So I was waiting for either the 144 candle to close very bullish or the 233 candle to close very bullish, and we get that. And you can see that, I was able to enter and take my profit. This profit I was only aiming 5 points. That's a very small profit. I was only aiming this amount of profit because my account on my funded futures, since the first trade didn't work out well for it was only like a ticket profit. It was still under, it was like lagging a trade. It was like still a trade behind from my per dia account. And in order for me to take a withdrawal on my funded futures account, I have to have at least $100 of a winning day. So this 5 points easily put me like almost $100 above. It put me almost $100 above the $100 that I'm supposed to be above, if that made any sense. So yeah, you can see the price, just keeps on going up. A little consolidation here, but that's kind of expected because there was, as you can see, I already have drawn out here. There is a little bit of a low volume node in this area, so I do expect to see a little bit of reaction here. If we kind of just keep pushing up to the upside, I would expect for us to come back down in this region and test this area. And I'll show you as to why I drew that area. I drew it because if we look over here, we can see that there is a very large gap. So low volume node right here on the left side. So you can see that my zone on this right side, the high is pretty much once I start to see like steep inclines into the high volume nodes. So right about in this area. And then the low is same thing, right when I start to see steep inclines, which is right about here. And you can see that we are rejecting, or we did have a tiny rejection in that area. So I could have placed a sell in order here and just a stop above this high. But is it really worth it? It's up to you, it's whatever. Yeah, so those are the 5 trades I took. 3 dubs, 1 loss, and 1 break even. Would have been better if the first trade occurred on my funded futures account as well, because I would have been done a little bit sooner. But it is what it is. So we should be taking another payout today, which I'm looking forward to. That's a car payment right there. So yeah, with that being said, stick true to your model, do not overtrade, and peace.